Hello, I'm Joseph Marshall. I'm reporting live at a Hull Savoyards rehearsal for their latest production, The Pirates of Penzance, which will be in June throughout the East Riding of Yorkshire.
Pour a pirate sherry, fill a pirate glass. And to make us more than merry, let the pirate bumper pass.
To speak to me about the production, I have Alice Giblin, who will be playing Mabel for this production. Hello, Alice.
Hello.
So, my first question is, what do you think is unique about the productions you participate in?
Well, I think what's special about our company is that we try and offer our audience a really family-friendly production, which for me is honouring the original objective of the GMS shows. And we try and make our costumes very colourful, such as the pirates' costumes, they're very colourful and dramatic, and our ladies' chorus, and you can get the time period from that. It's about late Victorian Edwardian, which is quite authentic. And our choreography, it's a mixture of set pieces which require dance routines, and we have lots of action, we have lots of fight scenes, which is a nice mixture, and we perform with an orchestra, and all our cast are really enthusiastic about the characters, so the audience should see something that's traditional, but interesting, and very varied visually and musically and dramatically.
We'd better pause, or danger may befall. Their father is a major general.
Yes, yes, he is a major general.
Yes, yes, I am a major general. For he is a major general.
He is a rather major general. And it is a glorious thing to be a major general.
It is a rather major general, a rather major general.
Okay, my next question is, how are these productions actually put together?
From January to March, we spend our rehearsals learning the music, the solo numbers, the chorus items, the ensembles, and get the music all straightened out. And from March to May, we have our floor rehearsals where we learn our routines and our action. And the principals may have extra rehearsals because there's a few two-handers and trios in Act 2, particularly the lead choreographing. The Sunday before the show, we have a rehearsal with the orchestra. The day before the show, we have a dress rehearsal in costumes and makeup, usually at the first venue that we're touring to.
All right. What would you say are the more challenging parts of the productions Hull Savoyards do?
Well, for this one particularly, as I've mentioned before, there's a lot of emphasis on action. We have a lot of fight scenes. There's a scene in Act 1 where the pirates try and abduct the girls. There's a big fight between the pirates and police in Act 2. There's a lot of noise when the pirates open the show celebrating Frederick's coming of age. There's a lot of hustle and bustle as the girls come onto the stage. I'd say that's quite challenging. And the music, we have a lot of double choruses, pirates and police, pirates and girls, a lot of musically challenging things for the principals to learn. For me, I think the challenge is singing in 3 different styles, because for Act 1 I've got a coloratura waltz song, and that requires a set routine which I have to learn. And for Act 2 I'm more in lyric dramatic style, which requires a lot more natural acting.
For I am a pirate king, and it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. For I am a pirate king, a pirate king, and it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. It is a rather pirate king, a rather pirate king.
What other roles have you played in Gilbert and Sullivan operas?
In 2011 I was Kate Carruthers in The Yeoman of the Guard. She's the minor soprano part. She provides the top line of the quartet, and she acts as Dame Carruthers' niece and assistant. The following year in The Sorcerer I was Constance, who's the minor soprano part in comparison with Aline, and she's a villager as opposed to Aline, an aristocrat, and she's in love with Dr. Daly the vicar. In 2013 I was Iolanthe, which was a bit of a challenging part because it's mezzo and I normally sing soprano roles, but she's a great character to work with. She's a virtuous woman, but she's also an outsider, because on the one hand, she's a caring mum, will do anything for her son, and she really wants to be back with her husband, but she's rebelled against her sisterhood of the fairies by taking a husband in the first place. And in the autumn, I was Zara, Princess Zara in Utopia Limited, a condensed version, which has some of the most beautiful music in the entire repertoire, I think. And the following year, I was Peep Bo in the Mikado, and she's more or less just 1/3 of Three Little Maids, but she's got some quite witty, sharp dialogue in Act 2.
When Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd apprentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind this promising boy, apprentice to a pilot.
Are there any other roles that you'd like to portray in future?
Quite a few, actually. I'd love to be Phyllis in Iolanthe. She's very much like Mabel in that she's a performer, she lives through her emotions, and she adores being the centre of male attention. And I'd love to return to Yeoman of the Guard as Elsie, and she's quite an interesting character in that she has to choose between her best friend Jack Point and the Prince Charming character of Colonel Fairfax. And because it's opera, we know what the choice will be, and that's quite sad because it occurs in the last few minutes of the opera. And the other two characters I'm interested in are very strong women. There's Josephine in HMS Pinafore, who defies the arranged marriage that her father's knocked up with the rich Sir Joseph Porter, and she defies conventions by wanting to marry the poor sailor Rafe Rackstraw. And in Princess Ida herself is a very strong female character. She defies the arranged marriage between the two kingdoms. She won't have anything to do with Prince Hilarion, and she founds a women's university and wants to encourage her students to take on an army of professional soldiers, which I think is very inspiring for a GNS heroine.
Okay, well that's all the questions. It was nice to speak to you.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
Beautiful